and today I have the great pleasure of interviewing Phoebe Hoogendyk from Ancient Pathways. And I'll be talking to Phoebe about her work with multidimensional cellular clearing. I know that's quite a mouthful. We'll get into what that is all about, how she helps people to clear energies and entities from their world. And so without further ado, here's Phoebe. Phoebe, you've been doing the multidimensional clearing for some time now. Whereabouts did you learn this process?
I learned it in the States from a man called Ken Page. Some of you may have heard of his uncle Melchizedek, John Velo Melchizedek. And he's been doing he actually has a full, Ken has a full university or whatever, his college that he's actually created to help people learn how to clear energies and entities from other people, and to help them become who they're meant to be in this lifetime. And I learned that, oh gosh, trying to think now, it would have to have been 25, 30, over 30 years ago now. Yes, long time.
And I'm sure that you've helped a lot of people in the process of this sort of thing. So for those who don't really understand the concept of entities and energies around, could you explain a little bit about what that's all about?
Okay. Normally energies or entities, I prefer to call them energies. If I call them an entity, it tends to make them more solid and more there. So it's a lot harder to actually clear it from somebody if they're a very solid thing. So an energy or an entity is something that's you've either been born with it, it's come in with you, it's attached to you somewhere along the line. When you've been in a moment of trauma, they normally come in. When you're very young and open, they will come in, but they see something within you that they would like to attach themselves to, because they would like, a lot of them would like to have their own bodies, basically. So they will come in and use yours for whatever means that they see fit, and they can tend to take you over. And the way you know you have an energy or an entity attached to you is you get to where you want to get rid of a certain behavior, but it doesn't matter what you do, you just cannot do it. You keep getting to a certain point where you keep repeating that behavior over and over and over, and you just have to start seeking help. Most of us have energies or entities attached to us, and most of us cannot clear them without the help of somebody else.
Interesting. Why is it, do you think, that Western society hasn't really acknowledged this side of things?
Well, because I guess it frightens them. That's the only way I can put it. It would frighten them, people, to think that they have an energy or entity, something that's not them, attached to them. I understand, though, a lot of these energies and entities can be part of who you are. It's just a part that hasn't moved on from a past, present, future, parallel, interdimensional, or on-planet lifetime. It just
That's quite a mouthful.
Quite a mouthful too. Yeah. It just hasn't been allowed to move on. You haven't dealt with it, and so it becomes an energy in its own right, and it starts to take you over and create its own little self, and it goes from there.
Do you think that alcohol and drugs would play a part in that whole process?
Oh, absolutely. When you're using drugs or alcohol to any extent, one drink's fine, and we don't judge people who do use drugs or alcohol, but when you use them, you get to a point where you go out of your body. You will leave your body, and it's like you're out, but you've left all the doors open, all the windows open, the lights are all on, and there's a big welcome sign out the front, and anything that's out there that doesn't have a body will want to come in, and it will come in to your body, and it will then settle down, and unless you know that it's there, how are you going to get rid of it? It's like when you wake up in the morning and you can't remember what's happened the night before because you've been too drunk or drugged or whatever it is, or the trauma has wiped out that you've just been through. It's just wiped out the memory of what you actually went through. But you wake up the next morning, you feel like you're sleeping bag that's just been shoved into a bag that's too small. It feels like you don't fit into your body anymore, that there's something else taking up room in your body, and it makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Do you think this is what the shamanic practices and the ancient wisdom were very clued into?
Oh yes, absolutely. They could see it all the time. Most of the tribal people had, or the tribal practices of the tribes, had a shaman that would specifically see were there energies or entities attached to you, and you know, all of the tribes supported each other, and if you were behaving very differently or in a way that was starting to upset the tribe, that you would then go to the shaman and have the energy or entity cleared, if that's what it was that was creating those behaviours.
And I think, you know, also if you look at the Catholic Church, there's been that thing of possession and clearing of possession. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And in some ways they do very similar things to clear it. You will see where the churches, especially the high churches, will go down the centre of the aisle and they will swing smoke. What they are doing is clearing negative energies away from inside the church. They're clearing the negative energies that some of the people in the church may have brought back in with them. They may not fully understand that that's actually what they're doing, but that's where it's come from. It's actually come from a shamanic behaviour, a shamanic practice from the past.
And so what is the process that you use, Phoebe, to do this sort of thing?
Right, well, I do a process called multidimensional cellular clearing, as Paul said in the first place, and what that is done through deep meditation. I take the client into a meditation and I come on the meditation with them, so I can see, feel, hear, sense everything that they are experiencing. However, I don't place what I'm seeing or feeling or sensing on top of what they're saying. I just lead them to show me what it is. What I allow to happen is I allow their guides to come in and guide me, and during the process I will interact with them. They will I will ask them questions, and they will give me guidance as well. And some people can have up to 4 or 5 guides come in to help them through the process.
Wow.
So what I do is I take them very deeply into a meditation so that we can get to their own knowing. We go through a process where we allow symbols to come to them. This unlocks their cellular memory. They can they can keep it unlocked if they want to, so that they can keep tapping into past, present, future parallel if they want to. It can get a bit confusing, but it's there if they want to keep it open. And then we move through into the light of their truth and their knowing. And when we get to that point, what I will do is set up a subconscious mind response or a deep mind response on the fingers for a yes/no answer, which will then override the conscious mind. Because during this whole process, the conscious mind will be trying to make sense of a lot of stuff that will come out as looking or seeming to be nonsensical. And to the linear conscious mind, it is nonsensical. And I like to make it a lot of fun as we go along too, because I don't like to traumatize the person with maybe a traumatic event that they've already lived through that is no longer necessary to be a part of their life. So we go through into the light of their truth and their knowing. We've set up the subconscious mind response, and from there I will scan their body. So the person's lying on my treatment table, and I'll actually scan their body. As I go over their body, I can feel where the energies or entities are attached or have been attached to their body, and they can sometimes feel it as well too. It will feel like a sudden heat or a sudden heaviness as I pass my hand over their body, and then I will get to where there are any blocks from past, present, future, parallel, interdimensional, on planet or planet lifetimes, from any of those times, and we will get to those blocks and things later on. But first we deal with the energies, and what I like to do is deal with the main entity. It's the one that allows any other ones to come in. So if you deal with that main one, when that one is sent home, all the others go with it as well. They go back to where they came from, because it's normally that main one that will allow all the others in. So we get to that stage, and we've cleared the energy. We ask it questions. Why is it here? How long has it been with you? When did it come in? How do you make this person behave? When they look in the mirror, what is it? What do they see? How do they describe themselves when this energy is overshadowing? What it does, even if it's not true, it is on some level a truth that is coming out, because it gives your conscious mind a reason to let go of that sort of behavior. It goes, now I know why I was doing that. That's not me, that's not mine, I can let it go. And then from there I move into the blocks, and that can be, as I said, all those other lifetimes. And you don't have to know how to go there. Your unconscious, your deep mind knows how to take you there, and it will take you there as I guide you to that time. And it will be like for some people it's like a movie that runs in front of them, and they will just describe to me their guides, and will give me questions to ask them sometimes, so that I can lead them to see what it is that they need to see. And from there we will detach it from the body. There's normally a cord that attaches them to that lifetime, so I just go in, cut the cord, and release it from that time. I need to go back though to the entity, because when we release the entity or energy from the person's body, I need the being to come in from their own particular dimension. So I need to know where they came from in the first place, so that I can send them back. And I have the ability to be able to open interdimensional doorways to be able to send them through. It takes a lot of concentration and effort on my part, so these sessions can be incredibly draining. And it got to a point where I gave up doing them for a few years, so I could gather my strength again, because I have to be able to keep the person who comes in safe from any other energies coming in and attaching when they're wide open. So my space has to be, the space that they've come into has to be kept sacred. It has to be kept incredibly safe on all levels. Mm. So at the end of all of that, then I take them to meet their higher self. I take them back home. I take them to meet their child self. I take them to collect the soul, the part of their soul that may have been missing, and the gifts that they've learned over all these times, and they're given back to them. They get their energy back that the entity or energy may have been taken from them and using. They know, they've now found out what this being or energy, the attachment, was doing to them. Now that it's gone, they can step into being who they are and who they're meant to be in this lifetime, without all the other lifetimes impinging or imposing on this time. So they can step out of behaviour. What it does frighten some people sometimes is they will suddenly go, oh, now I'm 100% responsible for my behaviour. I can't blame anything or anyone else for it. And that's a great place to be. I had one person who said, I don't know who I am anymore. And I said, great. Now you can go and be who you want to be. Who is it that you want to be in this lifetime?
You're in charge of your creation then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
then what I do to round that all off is I actually recharge them. I send a DNA spiral wave of energy through my hands from the multiverse universe, whatever you want to call it, from the earth, through their bodies, and it goes up and down their spine and goes out through their body, and it rewires their nervous system. It clears anything that may be attached to their aura. It actually mends their aura so that it can be strong again, and it keeps them strong. All through this process I also give them tools to keep themselves clear. I don't know if they were going to keep themselves clear or not, but I have cleared them, and I have given them the tools to keep themselves clear. And then now that they're 100% responsible for themselves, it's up to them.
It's their choice then.
Yes.
Yeah. Phoebe, just another question. So would you say that a lot of the people that are experiencing negative voices, negative self-talk, things like anorexia or other behaviours could easily be part of this?
Oh, absolutely. You can
suicidal tendencies, another one?
Yeah. And if you speak to a lot of these people, they will tell you that there's a voice inside their head telling them to do these things. And a lot of time, as I said before, it can be an aspect of themselves that no longer is supposed to be in this lifetime but is kicking up because it knows it's not meant to be here, or it can actually be an entity from another time that's quite different to that person that has attached. And as I said in the very beginning, it's normally during a time of trauma or when we're very young and very innocent and very naive that they will actually come in. And what they're searching for, believe it or not, is your light. They want to attach to your light. They want to have your light.
Well, that's fascinating, Phoebe. Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I don't think so. There's probably a whole heck of a lot of things that I would like to add to that, but what it does is gives you back to you. It allows your conscious mind to have a reason to let go of behaviours that no longer serve you, to be able to step out and be all that you are meant to be in this lifetime. And a lot of that is to be in service and to be able to teach other people and to be able to show them that you too have moved beyond that which held you back. So what I would say then is follow your heart and live your dreams. And yeah.
Great. Thank you, Phoebe. This is Phoebe from Ancient Pathways. Thank you so much. I learned a lot, and I'm sure the listeners as well learned a heck of a lot from this one as well. So there you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Okay.